I started my career in 2010, basically, and that was pretty deep into the digital era. You know, everybody had DSLRs. Film was definitely something that no one else was shooting professionally in the motorsport world. Even since then, it has changed a lot. Like, we have car autofocus tracking, you have eye autofocus tracking. There's just so many different ways that cameras have evolved, but the biggest change, it's been the content delivery requirements that we have on us as professionals. It's not, you know, you can't just deliver pictures tomorrow or the next day or the next week. You have to do it now. And so the camera technology has definitely made my job a little bit easier in terms of being able to get images that are repeatable more regularly, if that makes sense. But then at the same time, I look back on what they were doing in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. We are so lucky in racing that nobody is going to really turn you away if you show up at a racetrack with a camera. Like, unless it's a private test day, cameras are very encouraged. They're welcome. It's part of going to a race. Going back so many decades, some of the fan photography at these races is almost more memorable than the actual professional credentialed photographers that were there. But you can't say that about the Masters or, you know, the NBA Finals or, you know, the Super Bowl. Like, you can't bring a 400 millimeter into the Super Bowl unless you're a credentialed photographer. Some of the stories that I've heard in the motorsport world are fascinating, and I love it. And the pictures that they made, I still find to be better than some of the pictures that we're making today with 45 megapixel cameras that can shoot 20 frames a second, you know, with car autofocus tracking. Like, they're doing zoom pans at, you know, 1/10 of a second with flames shooting out the back of a Formula One car. And it's not Photoshop, and they don't know if they got it until they went and developed it. The access that these tracks and these series give amateur photographers is so cool, and that's the advice that I give people is go to races. Go find tracks in your area. It doesn't need to be Formula One. It doesn't need to be IndyCar. It doesn't need to be World Endurance Championship. It doesn't need to be NHRA. Go find anything that moves at a racetrack near you and just have fun, because it's really special that you can take a camera to a professional sporting event and document it the way you want to document it, because that isn't something that every sport allows for. Take pictures, tell stories. That's the only way to do it, is just to go do it.